Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Hammer Productions night. Tonight, I will be reviewing Hammer House of Horrors Witching Time, which aired on ITV in 1980. Directed by Don Lever, from a script by Anthony Reed, starring Jon Finch, Patricia Quinn, Prunella Gee, Ian McCulloch, and Lennard Pearce. Now, this was a TV series that came out in the 80s after Hammer kind of just stopped making the movies in the mid-70s. The movies just started not doing well for them, apparently, and they decided to call it quits, and they decided to give it a shot on TV with a anthology series, and this was the first episode. Now, I had only seen one other episode of this before deciding to check this out for my reviews on here, and that was the Guardians of the Abyss episode. So that episode, it still felt like, a Hammer film to me. But unlike this episode and one other that I will mention during this review for these episodes, this one is a lot more like the movies because it actually has quite a bit of nudity in it. And that really surprised me because I guess ITV is a little bit more lenient toward nudity in their programming than regular national, television would be. So, but apparently they got cold feet once they did the first, few episodes and started curbing back on the nudity, apparently. Now, I will be going through all the rest of this series as well, so this is not the only one that I'll be reviewing on here. But this first one was quite impressive, I'll say. The acting in it is pretty damn good. Jon Finch, playing the character of David, he's a flawed character. He's not very likable. He's a drunk character that is, he's getting drunk because he realizes that his girlfriend, Mary, played by Prunella Gee, is having an affair. And he doesn't know who it is. And of course, it ends up being a best friend of theirs with Ian McCulloch's character of Charles. And in the middle of all this problems that he's having, all of a sudden this witch named Lucinda shows up, played by Patricia Quinn. And that's where all the big, there is a little bit of nudity early when you have this scene with Prunella Gee, which is basically revealed to be a scene from a TV show or movie that Jon Finch's character of David is doing the music for. So he's a composer for movies and TV and stuff. So, that was pretty cool twist at the beginning because you see this opening moment and you're thinking it's part of the overall story, and it is, but not in the way you're thinking. But I really liked Prunella Gee, even though her character starts off as this, unfaithful girlfriend who's, screwing around on this guy and causing him to become, a drunk. But the performance of Patricia Quinn, it's over the top, but I think it fits with the character because she's from a different time period. She's a 16th century witch, and somehow she figured out a way to escape from her captors at the time that were going to burn her at the stake or drown her or whatever. She escapes by traveling forward in time. And some of her reactions to things around her is pretty unique and cool, just because you would react that way if you were from that time period. And I always like those kind of things where someone from a time period back, like her reaction to someone turning on electric lights. She's never seen that. She's only known as candles and candlelight and stuff like that. So that was pretty unique. And then her fear in the bathroom, him flushing a toilet, or turning on the shower and everything. But there's a reason why she's afraid of the shower also, which I will get to a little bit later in this, which is kind of weird because I've never heard that as far as witches go. But overall, the story on this is fairly simple, and it's quite effective, though. However, I was quite disappointed by the ending of it, and perplexed, because she creates like a little voodoo doll that she is using to injure Mary. And Mary ends up taking it and trying to reform it and make it that it's in her image instead of hers. She's going to use it, but she gets it knocked out of her hand and everything prior to that. And then Mary ends up drowning Lucinda. Yeah, that's her weakness. That's her weakness. Water is a witch's weakness. I've never heard that ever before, but whatever. And then, David ends up taking the voodoo doll and tosses it into a fire that they had going out there, and you hear a scream. It makes me, it didn't look like Mary was in any pain when they were walking away, so I don't think it was her. So I'm guessing it's supposed to have been Lucinda, burning from that voodoo doll, whatever. But it's a very interesting first episode, and I can see how they might get cold feet, doing this television show and going all out like it's a regular Hammer film, that they're continuing the films and everything in the same way that they were doing them on the big screen, but doing them on the small screen, and they were afraid audiences with young boys and everything watching this just be watching it for the nudity and everything in there, and that's when they started to curb that back, apparently. But my final review for this first episode, I am going to give this one a 8.9 out of 10. It is a very good opening episode for a series. I really like the theme song that opens the anthology and ends it. It's very well done. And then James Bernard is doing the music throughout this show and everything, or this episode. And his music is always great. So what do you think of this episode? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can request a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing. And when that video goes up, it will go up for all Plus members prior to it going up for all other subscribers. So if you want to get interactive and help me to get more movies on this channel that I might not normally review, become a Plus member.
Well, that's it for another Hammer Productions Night. If you missed last week's Hammer Productions Night, check out the link up here to get caught up on that one. Or if you missed any of the other Hammer Productions Night, be sure and check out the playlist right here to get caught up on any of them that you have missed.